Hey y'all, welcome to Wheatland FFA's first podcast. My name is Abby.
And my name is Edgar, and today we're going to be interviewing our star student, Conrad, about his supervised agricultural experience.
Conrad has been on the farm for years, with only being able to hold a shovel starting out to now being a business partner with his father. We are so excited to go and interview him, so let's jump right in.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our Wheatland FFA podcast. Today we are here interviewing one of our star supervised agricultural experience students. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Conrad Burrow. I'm a senior at Wheatland Union High School, and I've been in FFA for 6 years.
So what is your SAE?
My SAE is a diversified grain production, where I farm 150 acres of corn, 645 acres of hay, and 1,000 acres of rice.
Oh, okay. So what made you get started?
Well, ever since I was little, I'd always go with my dad around like water and the tractor whenever I could. And as I grew up, I was given one responsibility, and I was handed a shovel and told to go clean out rice boxes. And for a couple of years, that was all I could do. And then eventually one harvest, my dad put me in a tractor, showed me how to run it, the auto steer systems, and how to pull the straw chopper. And that's what I did all that harvest. And that spring, I got showed more implements like a disc and a chisel and more tractors. And now I can run it all.
What has been your greatest influence within your SAE project?
My greatest influence has been my dad, just from always like taking me with him place like to go around water or whatever, and just teaching me all that I know now.
Well, it seems like obviously you've grown up around it. How long have you been like involved with your project?
I've been involved with it all of my life, pretty much. Ever since I was born, basically. And then now I actually work for him, not just going with him.
Do you think you could go into a little bit more detail on what your responsibilities include?
Yeah. So my responsibilities are, well, in this, for like example, in spring, working the ground, getting it ready to plant, which is disking, chiseling, leveling, rolling aqua, flooding, and then water control. And then during harvest, I basically just chop straw and disc, and I'll sometimes run the bank out. And during summer, really isn't a whole lot, just some water management, and there's some dirt work to do, but nothing really with the rice.
So what exactly, a lot of those responsibilities obviously are like new to me. I'm not sure what they are. What is aqua?
Aqua, it's aqua ammonia. It's a chemical. It's a fertilizer that we put in the ground before we flood, and it helps with the rice to grow.
How often do you guys put it in?
Just one pass, usually. Just
Okay.
all over just every check gets one pass.
Okay. Does that have anything to do with like water irrigation? Also,
No.
do you guys do water irrigation? How does that work?
So, our water irrigation, we have ditch pumps and deep wells. Ditch pumps are ditches that we have through our properties that we get flooded with water, and then there's a pump at the end of it that pumps it into the rice field. And then the deep wells are 30, 40 or so feet in the ground, and they pump the water just straight out of the ground at about 1,100 gallons per minute.
1,100. That's a lot. Wow. So I know you said that you have a lot of other responsibilities. Regarding tractors, how many of them are you able to drive, or can you operate?
All 8.
All 8? What's your favorite one to operate?
Definitely our 2022 John Deere 8R340.
What is that used for?
Anything really. Disc with it, chop straw, chisel.
So out of all the tractors, I know, so I have a similar in some ways project. I do turf and landscape management, and we have a big stand-on 50-inch mower. The amount of times I've gotten that mower stuck is quite a bit. So have you ever gotten a tractor stuck?
Yeah, I got one stuck. I've gotten a couple stuck, but I got this one stuck one time. I was mowing roads last spring, and I was coming around this turn that was a little sharper than I thought it was, and I look over my front left side, and that tire's off the ground or off the road in the field, and I look at my back, and that back rear tire is off the road too. I'm like, well, this isn't good. So I couldn't really back up out of that, so I had made a circle in the field. Well, that wasn't very smart, but it has row crop tires on it, so they're about that wide or so. So it digs down through the mud to like where the harder dirt is, or compact dirt, and it kind of gets traction that way. But it took like 30 minutes of going back and forth just to get it out, and I finally did.
How do you get them out? Like, say you get a tractor stuck in mud or something like that. Like, how do you get those out?
You just hook another tractor up to it,
Really?
and pull it out, and hope one will do it. Sometimes it takes two, depending on how bad it is or how heavy the tractor is.
That's insane. Wow. So, how you said you were going on like a really sharp turn. How fast do tractors go?
Well, it depends on what you're doing. So if you're disking 6-7 miles an hour, just so you don't pull the disc apart. If you're chopping straw, 6 or 8, because you can go a little faster with those. Chiseling, everything's about 6 to 8 miles an hour. At least that's what we run, just so we don't break anything. Unless you're pulling a triplane, which is old school. Those are about 4, so you don't pull the front wheel out from under it. But we don't use triplanes anymore. We use drag buckets.
What are those?
It's a bucket. It's about, I don't even know how long ours are. Just a bucket that you pull behind the tractor, and it just moves dirt around. Similar to a triplane, but much more convenient.
Okay. Going back to your favorite tractor, you said it was the 2022 John Deere, right? Why is that your favorite tractor?
Well, it has an air ride cab. It's on airbags, so it's really smooth. Really quiet too. It has like this European 3-point on it, which is really easy to hook up to things, unlike and it's got a mini fridge in it.
So if you could change one thing about your project, what would it be?
I would change how often I could run combine instead of like once or twice every harvest. More often, but I know it's my dad's. My dad really likes to do that, so he doesn't let me do it. But I figured someday I'll be able to all the time.
Someday?
Someday.
So where do you think this project is going to lead you, like in your future careers? Like, do you want to do anything in this field?
Well, since this is what I want to do, basically the rest of my life, learning as much of it now as I can is good. So when I come back from college and I work full time for my dad, I'm not having to learn everything then. I know a lot, and I can just go right into it without having to, hey, can you teach me this?
Yeah, just go into it ready to go.
Already knowing a lot and just being able to go right into it.
Yeah, makes sense. So what do you plan on majoring in college?
I plan to major in ag business. Mainly ag business, maybe crop science, but I'm leaning more towards ag business.
Okay. So going back to all of your responsibilities within your project and everything like that, what is disking?
A disc is a implement we use to work ground. They're all different lengths, and they have different blade sizes. Ours is 21 foot, and I want to say it has 22-inch blades on it, but I could be wrong. It has the first set of blades that are on the front are facing one way, the ones in the back are facing the other way, and it just goes in, and the front set kind of just turn the dirt over, dice it, chop it up, and then the back set does the same thing, but the other direction, and it's just used to, this one implement we use to work dirt.
So, you said you farm rice, corn, and hay.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
What would you say is definitely the hardest to farm?
Oh, it's the rice.
The rice?
Yeah.
Really?
'Cause
Why so?
Well, you have to manage the water, all the different chemicals that go into it. It's just so many things have to be just right. Like when we harvest, it has to be anywhere from 19 to 22% moisture, and if it's over, it's too green. If it's under that, you run the risk. If it's under 19, you run the risk of it basically disintegrating at the dryer. Because when it goes to the dryer, after we harvest it, we take it to the dryers, and they dry it down to 13% moisture. And if you're at, like this past harvest, we had some stuff that was like 15%. You take it in, you run the risk of it basically just disintegrating. Like the actual rice, not the outside shell. It's just the actual rice inside will disintegrate because it got so hot.
What do the dryers do? Like, how does that work? Do they just like straight up like blow dry it?
No, so they go in these big silos basically and stuff, and it just dries it. Like it just has these fans going and also, and it just dries all of the moisture out of it.
Oh, okay. How do you track it? Like, how do you track that down to the 13%?
Moisture meters. They have. I'm pretty sure that. I'm not totally sure how they do it. I'm not so into the drying stuff, but I'm sure with like moisture meters and stuff like that.
Okay, so out of all of your responsibilities, what would you say is like your favorite time of year to like harvest what?
Definitely rice. My favorite thing to do in the rice anyway is chop straw after the rice is harvested. It's easy as long as you don't break anything. It's pretty simple, straightforward.
Oh, okay. And you said that rice is the hardest to harvest, right? Does that have any effect with like the tractors?
So rice is the equivalent of running gravel through a combine. Like if you were to take buckets of gravel and throw it in the combine in the feeder housing, it'd be pretty much the same because rice is such a rough crop on them. When combines come, if a rice farmer from here was to buy a combine from Nebraska or Kansas, when it comes here, they have to go through that combine and put steel plates in it. And they have to replace all these plastic parts with steel plates, so it doesn't, because the rice will just eat up those plastic plates in no time, because it's just so rough.
Interesting. That's insane. All right. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to interview you. I definitely learned a lot about your project, and I hope our viewers did too. Thank you guys for watching, and we will be back after the break.
Wheatland FFA and Wheatland Bear River are holding a Build a Bag event, and we need your help. We are collecting comfort items for hospital patients like chapstick, playing cards, blankets, and many other items. All of these items will be going to the comfort and care of our hospital patients.
If you are interested in making a donation, there will be a link in our bio that will take you to our Amazon registry list. Please note that this event does close soon, so we need your donations now. On behalf of Wheatland and Wheatland Bear River FFA and all of our community members, thank you so much.
Hi, welcome back from that short break. My name is Lexi Phillips, and we're going to be continuing our interview with our star guest, Conrad Burrow. So, Conrad, you told us that you have a very extensive SAE in that last interview. Can you tell me any awards that you've earned through your time in your SAE?
I won sectional, regional, and state proficiency with that project.
So, with getting a state proficiency, you were able to walk up on the state stage at state conference.
Yes.
What was that like? Tell me about the experience.
Well, for me, it was nerve-wracking because I don't like that having a bunch of people look at me. But and it was really bright on there too, all the lights and stuff. It just wasn't my thing. But I mean, it was kind of nice going up there too and getting something from it, and so it was nice. But at the same time, I didn't like it.
Was it exciting to be handed that plaque and being able to shake a state officer's hand?
Yeah, it was. It was nice having that plaque and stuff.
Have you won any other awards throughout your time in FFA?
Yes, I have my Green Hand chapter and state degree. I have 2 national agri-science awards. I have 2 state agri-science awards. I think that's all. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's all.
Are you involved in anything else within FFA, any CDEs or LDs?
Yeah. I'm on the welding team for our high school, and I was on the farm power team, but now I'm just sticking with the welding team.
What does the welding team consist of for competitions?
Well, we have our fab comps where we go to high school. Like when we went to Marysville High School, we brought our plans, we brought the metal, and we built a table with a benches on each side, and a fire pit. Well, it's called a utility table. You could use that pit in the middle for anything. We just called it a fire pit, and we won that fab comp. We had another one, but it got canceled. And we have one tomorrow. Actually, it's in Lincoln High School, and that's where we cut and flange I-beam and weld it together. And then the welding comps are, we go and usually we have a TIG welding assignment, a stick welding assignment, MIG welding, sometimes flux core. We either have oxy-fuel or plasma torch cutting, and then there's a math test, a tool ID, a written test, and a welding inspection.
Oh, that's a lot. What's your favorite part about being on the welding team?
Being able to get out of school and go weld, because I really like welding.
So you have a very extensive SAE and you're clearly involved in a lot of CDEs within our chapter. How do you manage your time? That way you have time for academics as well.
I try to do as much of my school stuff, like homework and whatnot, at school. So that way when I come home, I have time to, I don't know, go work or sometimes after school do stuff, welding team practices and stuff. So I just try to do as much of my schoolwork at school. So that way when I'm out, I have my time to do the other things.
So as you graduate in a few months, what are your plans after high school?
Well, my plans after high school are to go to college, and I got accepted to a little ag school in Curtis, Nebraska that I found. I found it at a national convention a couple years ago. I applied past November, got accepted like a week later. So this August I'm gonna go back there for 2 years, get my ag business degree, come home and go to Chico for 2 to 4 more, and continue in ag business.
What's your goal with ag business? What do you want to do with that degree?
Just so when I come back to farm, when I come back to work for my dad, I know more on the business side of things, not just the farming side of things, because I want to be able to do as much of the business stuff as I can myself.
Do you plan to take over your dad's business, or are you planning to start your own one day?
After college, we're planning on going into partners, and then eventually I'll fully take over. Once I think I can control it all and manage it all by myself, then I'll fully take over. But after I come back from college, I will just be in a partnership.
If you were to give a incoming freshman any kind of advice for the FFA, since you've had multiple years of experience, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them to try out all the different CDs and LEDs, try them out, or try one, go see what it's about, and if you like it, stick with it. And if you don't, there's so many that you could try. Obviously, I'd try to send them more to the welding, but that's just me. But there's quite a few to pick from to find one that you would like.
That's so true. There's so many different parts about the FFA, which makes it even more accepting for everyone within the organization. What's been your favorite part of your FFA journey throughout your numerous years in the organization?
Favorite part's probably been going to national convention, state convention, being on the welding team, being on the design build team. Just because, national convention is really fun. Week in Indy. State's fun, I guess, but national's more fun.
What's your favorite part about all of those conferences?
Going to the expo. Not the actual convention part. Just going to the expo, walking through it, looking at all the tractors and stuff.
So how has your involvement within your SAE changed over the last couple of years?
Well, when quite a few years ago, was handed a shovel, and ever since then, for a couple of years after that, that was my thing, was a shovel, and then still have it too. And then now, I sit in tractors. I can help my dad with some business things, not a whole lot, but just some, but mainly just doing everything he does, farming on the farm side of things, working on the equipment, running the equipment, working on the implements, water management, all that kind of stuff.
How many hours a week do you think you work?
During summer, definitely around 40 or so, 60.
Wow.
But during school, like fall and spring, probably I'm not sure totally. But I would say around maybe 20 or so, because having shorter days to work during school and only being able to work for 4 or 5 hours after school. And then the weekends are 10, 12-hour days.
That's definitely a lot of time to dedicate to your project. With all that time put into your SAE, do you plan on changing anything about your business?
Honestly, not really. I mean, over time, I would like to add more acres, get more rice ground, and that. But really, as of right now, that's basically it. There really isn't anything else I'd like to change about it.
So I know you farm multiple things and not just one thing, but what's your favorite thing that you farm?
Oh, my favorite thing is the rice. The hay would be second, but no, I think my favorite thing my favorite thing to farm is the rice.
What about the rice makes it so thrilling?
There's just so many things that go in. There's just so many different things to do with it. I mean, you have spring, there's 3-4 different implements to pull during the spring, and then harvest, there's 2-3, then 2. I mean, there's just so many different things to do that just makes it so fun because you're not doing the same thing constantly.
It's always good to change it up. How many times a year do you harvest everything in total and not just your rice?
The hay gets done probably beginning of May. I'll start swathing. Corn, there goes the hay. We do that, get it raked, baled, picked up, and then after that, nothing. And then going to rice harvest, get that all done. And right after that's basically when we come in and harvest the corn.
So this is like an all-year project.
Yeah.
You never get a break.
No. And then during winter is washing the equipment and stuff, so the best thing to do.
It's never ending.
No.
Do you wish that you got a break sometime, or do you love always having something to do?
No, I always like having something to do instead of just having just sitting at home all day or whatever, just knowing there's always something.
You've shared so much with us about your diversified grain production SAE. Do you have any other SAEs?
Yes, I have 2 more actually. We have about 250 head of cattle and 330 acres of pasture. And my role with the cattle is mainly just to vaccinate, castrate, and get them on the truck when we have to take them to Orland. And I have, for the past 10 years, I've been raising show cattle for jackpot shows and the county fair.
So how do you keep up with that much of livestock with all of those acres?
So I really don't work with the cows a whole lot. I mean, sometimes during the winter when we're vaccinating or castrating or whatever, I'll help, but I don't really do much with the cattle. That's not my thing.
You like the crops more?
Yes. Crops don't throw you in the fences.
How many times have you been thrown into a fence?
Quite a few.
Oh.
And the ground.
Oh. That's really fun.
Oh, great.
So out of all of the colleges that you've seen at the expos throughout your time in the FFA, why did you choose the one in Nebraska?
I chose it. I mean, it's a small school. This year, they only have 250 students or 200 students. they have a total of 250. It's all ag. They have a shooting team, which I'm on that for the high school. And they have all different kinds of like ag, kind of like CDE teams, but different. And they have nice welding program, a really good ag program. And mainly I like it because it's really small, so there ain't a lot of people there.
Yeah. Have you been talking to anybody from that school? Do you have a roommate yet?
No, I went back there. Me and my mom went back there in beginning of November. They had a open campus day, so we went back there and looked. It's nice. It's some towns smaller than Wheatland. And the campus is pretty small, decent size, but it's small. They have a nice horse arena, nice shop, whole vet program.
Wow.
Yeah, large and small animal.
That's amazing. So it sounds like you'll be having a lot of fun there in Nebraska.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you for coming in today, Conrad, and allowing us to interview you about your time in the Blue Jacket. I can't wait to see how all of your future endeavors go in Nebraska.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much for watching Wheatland FFA's podcast. If you are interested in what some of our other members are doing or continuing to follow Conrad's story, you can find us at Wheatland FFA on Instagram or at Wheatland Union High School on Facebook.
And don't forget, we need your donation for our Build a Bag event. To make an impact on these hospital patients, we will be needing your help. Thank you so much for watching.